Effectively, each path tosses you and the rest of the Animorphs into another old Animorphs book. And, of course, one of them would be Megamorphs 2 and the Time of Dinosaurs. It's the only in-canon book to match the pure merchandise-driven sales of the Alternamorph books, and I guess the universe hates me. Besides, the go back in time and meet the dinosaurs and aliens thing is exactly the kind of stupid plot you find in a normal choose-your-own-adventure book. So you make your choice and you're flung deep into the past, in the time of dinosaurs. Right away you have a run-in with a T-Rex and have to decide between a cockroach and a wolf morph. Wolves turn out to be tastier. You finally catch up with the rest of the Animorphs, and they act like this is the first time this has happened to them, despite Megamorphs number 2 taking place before the David trilogy, except now I guess it takes place after, and time travel sucks. Megamorphs number 2 sucks. Everything sucks. Why are we here? Anyway, you regroup that night, only for there to be another T-Rex attack, only this time you end up swallowed by the T-Rex. Not chewed, just up and swallowed. You're being swallowed! A bigger opening, liquid all around. Water? No, no, no! Too hot to be water! Digestive acid. You're being digested. You are blind, deaf except for a sound of churning, and the steady bass drum of a heart beating. You grin up against warm flesh, up against something that feels like bones. T-Rex's last snack? You're holding your breath. You don't want to breathe in the battery acid T-Rex has in its stomach. A lot of Vor fans are getting erections right now. Look, I respect your personal fetishes, but please keep your pants on during my reviews, okay? Okay. While you're inside the stomach, the T-Rex and Jake play out that bit from Megamorphs number 2 where Jake morphs inside its mouth and kills it, allowing you to crawl out and cockroach morph. Wow, what an adventure! I've got to say, it's fitting that the Megamorphs number 2 path is the lamest. So you walk around a bit until you find the Makora city nestled in the canyon. You're given two options. You can investigate, or you can choose to ignore it. For some reason, I find this to be the most hilarious choice in the entire book. The book assumes readers are so disengaged with what's going on that, given the choice, they might choose to ignore the plot. I don't know if that's a diss on Alternamorphs or Megamorphs number 2. If you choose to ignore it, you just wind up eaten by those dinosaurs everyone incorrectly calls velociraptors. If you decide to investigate, you barely walk 10 feet before the Ellimist whisks you away. Why? Because you have shown curiosity, I think. The Ellimist takes you to an IMAX theater and shows you a sped-up version of the history of the human race, I guess because humans are really good at being curious. I honestly don't know what this is about. It's like a really shitty version of a Doctor Who humanity speech, and some of those are pretty shitty already. The Ellimist then says you passed the test, whatever test that was, and you find yourself back in time, or forward in time, but back in time, back to when you were just moving into town before discovering the Morphing Cube. The book leaves you hanging. Do you decide to relive events and reclaim the Morphing Cube? Of course you wouldn't, dumbass. The asshole god guy will just throw your ass in front of a T-Rex again. Seriously, though, while Alternamorphs number 2 is a lot better than the first one, I still wouldn't call it a good book. It just gets so much wrong with continuity, characterization, and concepts that's just gonna piss off Animorphs fans, despite it being marketed to them as a way to play out your own Animorphs fantasy. It has its moments, it has a few interesting ideas, but Alternamorphs is entirely skippable, and you probably should. That's how they fare as Animorphs books, but how did they fare as Choose Your Own Adventure books? Well, I'm afraid you picked the wrong path to talk about that. You gotta live with your decisions, folks. For now, that's